Lovely. YouTube gives me a pop-up while they start the stream, so apologies for that. Fine hooligans. It has been a wee bit, hasn't it? Roughly 2 months, to be specific. But we will be talking about all that and more. So, gonna wait for just a little bit. I don't. People probably won't catch this live. We'll see. If anyone rolls in, then so be it. And then, yeah. But if not, they can catch it afterwards. Also, I gotta clean my phone case. This is a really weird and I guess mundane way to start this, but like, I don't really take my phone case off. And oh my god, so much dust gets back here. So I gotta clean that. I hope everybody has been good out there. Hope everyone's staying safe. Like I always say, hope you're staying undefeated against the bad days. I don't know if anyone, where people are watching this, but if you got Canada Dry, try the cranberry ginger ale. It's so good, but not what we're talking about right now. Oh, it has been. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. It's been longer than a week. So yeah, like I said, it's been about 2 months since the last upload, which I apologize for. It definitely wasn't the plan, but it's just unfortunately the way things worked out. So the kids got off school, and then it was the whole beginning of summer thing, getting into like all of that. But then it just felt like it was like a lot of stuff was just like one thing after another. I still have people doing like fucking construction and shit in our backyard. We're getting new fences and stuff done back there, and it's just like it was supposed to be done by the end of August. It is now September, and it's still not done. So yeah, it was just like one of those things. Like if it's during the day and I wanted to record, I just like I couldn't because of everyone in the back like hammering into the concrete or whatever else they're doing. So it just it was not a good time for ya boy. Do live chat. There we go. Andrew, my dog. Hell yeah, brother. I'm glad that you got to jump in here with me. I don't like cranberry juice. Cranberry ginger ale, though, it's a good one. But, so yeah, for the past 2 months, it's basically been like, I want to record during the day, but I can't because there's just a bunch of dudes hammering shit or whatever else they're doing back there. And it's just like, that's really frustrating because, again, it's stuff that's out of my control, but it gets in the way of doing the channel. So again, I do apologize that there hasn't been any videos for like the past 2 months or whatever, but the kids were on summer vacation, so spent a lot of time doing stuff with them. I got my youngest like I don't know, pretty much half the summer, and we were just hanging out and doing stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, it was just a lot of stuff that was out of my control, whether it was construction or other stuff like drinking the juice right now. Nice. The electrical. I don't know if anyone is going to remember. Alyssa, we got both the Hamels in the house. Beautiful. Hi, Alyssa. But no, like, I don't know if anyone remembers what I was talking about, them doing electrical stuff down here. That's still not done. Like right now, if I look over there, there's like a black hose coming from the backyard, and there's just wires sticking out of there. They're not attached to anything. They're just sticking out. So I don't know if they're going to pour the concrete in the back and then deal with the electrical shit. But it's just been a lot of headaches, to be honest. Excuse me. We definitely have missed you. I missed you guys too. And honestly, so like, and that's the other thing. Like, I felt like I was getting back into like doing videos and everything. I still have a lot of ideas that I want to do. But because of like all the shit outside that was affecting me being able to do the channel, I like just kind of like went into like a bit of a shitty mindset for a while. And just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. It was just a shitty time. Honestly, just like I just stopped reaching out to people, all that stuff. So I apologize for that. So many hoes, man. So many hoes. So I apologize for that. I know I've been distant with quite a lot of people. It has nothing to do with any of them. It was purely on my side. There was just shit going on, and I didn't reach out when I know I should have. I always tell people reach out to someone if you need help or you need to vent, and I just didn't do that. So I apologize for that. That is 100% on me. Um, but yeah, like other than like all the like headache, frustrating stuff, uh, summer vacation for the kids was awesome. You know what I mean? Uh, Andrew, shit happens, bro, but you always bounce back. Excuse me. I tried to. I definitely tried to. But yeah. But no, summer vacation was awesome for the kids. With my youngest daughter, she super into Sweeney Todd right now. Because we watched the Johnny Depp movie, and then she wanted to hear more. And it kind of started with the movie, but I also NPR does these things called Tiny Desk concerts, and she had watched the Sweeney Todd one with me, and she loved it. So then that went into watching the Angela Lansbury production and a whole bunch of other like smaller productions, whether they're good or bad. That's, another story. But yeah, so that's been really cool. Her birthday is on the 19th, but we're doing it this weekend. So I got like stuff started for decorations and like some gifts I'm going to show here. Excuse me. Andrew, same here. I was focusing on my own personal shit as well. Alyssa, we all deal in our own way. Absolutely. And like, honestly, the thing is, like, I knew that I should have reached out, or I should have even just been like a hey, what's going on? Like just checking in on you. For anybody else, whatever, like, you know what I mean? And I just didn't. That's always kind of what I've done is just I go like radio silence. And yeah, I totally admit not the best way to handle things, but unfortunately, it's what happened. We got to move past it. Making memories, man. I envy your kids. Man, honestly, I absolutely love my kids, but there's such a different dynamic with all three of them. My son is very much more of likes to chill on his own, do his own thing, watch YouTube or play like on the Switch or whatever it is. And my youngest is very much the opposite. Like when she's here, she likes to do as much as she can, and I like to do as much as I can with all my kids. But yeah, she's into all the gory horror movies with me. She's into paranormal investigating with me. She loves like musical theater and stuff, whether it's Phantom of the Opera or Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd is her like 100% her favorite. Sounds familiar. Someone else we know does the same. Ooh, it's true though. I don't know if it's a guy thing. I think like a lot of us as far as mental health goes, I think a lot of guys we're always like we're told like you gotta like it's the old way of thinking. It's like you gotta man up, you gotta handle that shit on your own, like you gotta push that shit down. When in reality, that is not the way to do shit. Because a lot of the time we think we can handle our own shit, but it always comes down to like we have a conversation with somebody else or somebody else is just there for us and helps us through that shit. And it's like, no, we need other people. You know what I mean? Like none of this like man up shit. It doesn't help. Oh, there we go. Andrew, we are the same. We try to handle our own shit. We think we can do it all on our own. Exactly. We think we can, but it definitely is better to have someone else in your corner. Everybody needs a Mick to their Rocky. You know what I mean? But yeah, so for the birthday stuff, and anyone who follows me on Instagram was there through this journey with me. I tried looking everywhere for the Angela Lansbury production of Sweeney Todd on vinyl. Could not find it. Or if I could, it was incredibly expensive. Like, yeah. Andrew, man up, cowboy up. That's that's what we know. That honestly, I don't know. I know that's what we know in a way, but I know that like that shit, that way of thinking or trying to do it never helps. You know what I mean? It just never works. Like most of the time I think that I'm like, well, I'll just handle it on my own. But then I don't really ever handle anything because I never like get those feelings or those thoughts out, or just even on my own. I never like fully sit down and confront them in a constructive or positive way. So like it's you have these negative thoughts and these negative feelings, and it's never like excuse me. And it's never like fucking, oh, why am I feeling like this? Is this an old trauma or old feelings that like I just haven't let go of? Most of the time you think of it more in a confrontational way with yourself. It's like, well, you don't deserve this, or you should do better. And it's just like, that's not dealing with your shit. That's adding to it and just like listening to that like shitty side of us that is wrong. You know what I mean? Never had a Mick, but I would settle for an Apollo. Well, Alyssa could be your Mick. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a little different. Well, I guess she would be your Adrian. That makes more sense. Yeah, that makes more sense. But yeah. So a lot of the time, I'm gonna get back to the stuff in a second. But yeah, so for me personally, a lot of the time when I go radio silent on people and I'm like, well, I'll just handle it on my own. When it's like mental health stuff, at least, it very much is like, and I'm still learning this, you know what I mean? Like I'm 33, I'll be 34 in November, and I'm still unwrapping like old ways of thinking and shit. Nitpicking 101. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so like I still struggle with that old way of thinking and everything, where you have that like that negative side to you that's going to tell you you're not good enough, but you are. You don't deserve like these good things, but you do. And a whole mess of other shit. None of that, like, okay, think of it like this. That side of you is a liar. It is a liar. It strives off you being negative, and it strives off you giving into it. Where there's the other side that's just harder to give into and listen to, that tells you, hey, you are good enough. You have put the work into your life, that you do deserve good things. And you are good enough for love in your life. Excuse me. You are good enough to have certain things that make you happy. And a big thing is you deserve to be happy. That's a big thing that like so many people struggle with, but like I for sure do. Being the man of the house at 2 years old, I was forced into fixing problems that my family was hit with. I'm just now doing things that I want to do. Absolutely. So in a way, not the same, I can relate to this. So I don't talk to anybody on my mom or dad's side. When I reconnected with my dad in my early 20s, like his mom, my grandma, and his brother, my uncle, I'm not going to put anybody's names out there. it was kind of the same thing. They're like, well, you haven't talked to us in this long, or well, you haven't done like come to see us. And it's like, when everything went their separate ways, I was fucking 13 years old. You guys are the adults. Why was it on me to try and like fix everything? I barely knew I didn't know how to do that. I was going into high school in a couple of months. Like, how is this shit on me right now? You know what I mean? And it was kind of the same thing, honestly, when I reconnected with my dad in my early 20s. It was on me to like keep up contact and do all this, even though like, it was the same shit as when I was a kid, where it was like, oh yeah, we'll go do this, or oh yeah, we'll take this trip. But then that never happened. You know what I mean? So it always fell on me to be like the one to keep this like side of my family together. But I was a kid. I didn't know how, it's like, you guys are the adults. You should figure this out. Andrew, it's been weird lately. People have been nice to me lately. There's a glitch in the matrix. No, man, it's because you've put up with so much stuff. You've had to deal with so much stuff that now the positive things are coming into your life now. And I honestly, I think there is a correlation that when you have the moment where you kind of give in to like the positive side of like your mind and stop listening to like the negative side of you, like things like that do start happening. You notice the good in people, or like more positive things start happening, and not in a way where it happens and then you question it and you're like, well, what do they really want, or like whatever like that. It happens to you, and it is in a way where you're like, okay, this person is a good person. They just want to be a friend, or they just want to be there for me. Got it. Like, I understand. Yeah. Going back to like the whole family stuff. It's a two-way street. Like 100%, dude. Even just recently, honestly, like it kind of sucks because I'm doing some more digging into like my family heritage and everything. That doesn't suck. But to get certain information, I might have to try and reach out to my dad to get that information. But one, I don't really want to do that, to be honest. Two, he's probably not going to give me any of that information. So yeah, I got to go through, I don't know, the libraries, because I know my library here, they do have like it's called like genealogy stuff, so like ancestry stuff. So I'm going to look into that. But yeah, either way, it's a weird time. But it's also one of those things where certain information I might be able to already get on my own, because so in some things, like my dad's been a bit of a public figure, so certain information is actually on the internet for me to find. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. These are the family names that I need to find. This is stuff that he's done, which will also help with like certain things with me. And then, yeah, questions like that are at the window at least. I question everything. I match efforts now. Oh, 100%. That's a big thing too. Like, gotta like match the effort that's put in. I think it's one of those things, like match the effort that you're getting from somebody, but also for some people, understand that like sometimes they need a little bit more effort in a way. Not in like you have to do everything for them, but like they might be the type of person that like they need you to reach out once in a while to be like, hey, what's going on, man? How you been? Like, happens with everyone. There wasn't as much left in that can, so I was smart and brought a second drink up with it. But yeah. So, we'll quickly go into the Sweeney Todd stuff again. I checked everywhere for this Angela Lansbury vinyl, and the only way I could find it, it would come from out of Canada, and it was very expensive. Same with the Josh Groban like cast. which she loves. And honestly, Josh Groban sings like an angel, and him as Sweeney Todd, like I've heard the cast recording, is amazing. And Annalee Ashford, who plays Mrs. Lovett in it, she's fucking awesome too. So if you check out the Tiny Desk concert, just type in Sweeney Todd Tiny Desk, it'll pop up. But I couldn't find it anywhere. And I had a thought. I'm like, oh, when I was a kid, I used to fucking like have blank cassette tapes and would record songs like from my CD player or the radio. And then eventually we burned CDs. So I got a CD burner. So my laptop didn't have a disk drive. So I actually bought an external one to burn CDs. So what I did is I had to like size the covers and everything. She will have the Sweeney Todd, the Angela Lansbury, and the Josh Groban cast recordings of both of them. Pretty friggin' sweet. Also, these blank discs are really cool because you're not gonna be able to tell. Oh, you might actually. Let me open this sucker. So these CDs are actually really cool because they're made to look like a record, but they also have the little grooves here just to like give that effect to it. So that's really cool. Hedgehog of Death. That's a new name. Welcome to the stream. Nice. Thank you. But yeah, so what you'll be able to do, and it's the same with like both of them. You got the front cover here, and then when she opens it up, she has the track lists right here, which I had to put together because I could not find a full track list on its own. So, boom, she's got that going for her. And then keep those together so I don't mix them up. I'm going to put those, my little table underneath here. And then something else, not for birthdays or anything. Again, a couple months ago, finally got a record player after years of wanting one. So I was smart this time, and I brought down a couple records that I wanted to show off on the channel. The first of which is the 94 Crow film score. Now, the film score is different than the soundtrack. She's going to love it. I hope so. Well, I don't want to like be conceited and be like, yeah, she's going to love it. But I know she is. She absolutely loves Sweeney Todd. So, with this, the film score is different than the soundtrack. The soundtrack is the one with like The Cure and Nine Inch Nails and stuff like that. This is more of like the orchestra music or whatever that you'd hear. Technically, the guitar solo that's on the roof at one point, that's part of the film score. One thing that's really cool is it's done like the old VHS case. So you got this awesome photo. This is actually when he's going into the church to confront Top Dollar. Just before this scene is when he has that deleted scene with the skull cowboy. But even on the back, it's done with the same pictures and everything and the whole like cast and crew stuff as the VHS cover, which I thought was super cool. I don't think this is a different vinyl. I think, yeah, it's just plain black vinyl, but make sure I grab it properly. I will say, I don't think this is, some releases do on like 180 gram vinyl. That's just a marketing thing, I promise. Little hair on it. That's not cool. So, but it has like this cool label on it. So it's black and, well, I guess it's red background on that side. And then on that side, it's black background. So that's super cool. But The Crow, one of my favorite franchises. Read novels, watched the show, all that good stuff. I haven't seen the new movie yet, and I don't really care about anyone else's opinion about it, to be honest. Not to be rude, it's just, I don't know. I did a whole video about The Crow. Another one of my favorite ones, this isn't real. Is this season 1? I think it is. Yeah, this is season 1. So season 1 of Game of Thrones. This is a 2 vinyl set. I love vinyls that have like just a cool like outer jacket to them and stuff. This one is really cool because there's Danny with the dragon egg there. I need to switch these sleeves. They're very staticky. Oh, but see? So you got these are called, it was labeled as White Walker vinyl kind of thing. But yeah, so it's got white vinyl. This is the only white record, well, records, because there's 2, in the collection. And these labels have the different house sigils. So Targaryen and Stark is on one, and then Lannister and Baratheon is on the other. But no, so I have a couple different color variants in the collection now. I should have brought it down. Damn. Okay. So I was able to get, Andrew, great, right. Great film, our first together. Yep. But Blu-ray shows all the painting backdrops. We approve. So honestly, I understand that nowadays, like the matte painting backdrops, it kind of does look a little aged or whatever. But that honestly, that is something I actually miss in movies, because that used to be something that like there were certain artists that were actually known for that in movies, where they like they did beautiful like matte painting backdrops for scenes and stuff. And I don't know, I feel like it's like something that added to the movie in a way, and we just don't get those anymore. Oh, I have 2 books I was going to show off. I should have brought down another one that I meant to. We'll talk about the vinyl, and then we'll get into the books. Man, I don't drink alcohol anymore, but you give me a cranberry ginger ale, and can't help but just drink them up. So, this one's an interesting one. So this is Monster Mash, but also Sounds of Terror. On here, and actually it has cool artwork on the back there. So this one's kind of interesting because on one side it has like it'll have like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Jack the Ripper, Phantom of the Opera, just certain characters. And it kind of gives them like a little description, and it's almost like a little audio skit in a way. It has some music, but in sound effects, kind of like a haunted house type stuff. And then on the other like side of the record, it's like different stuff throughout history. So there's the Buried Alive. Where's the other? Let me see. Victims of the Guillotine. So it's almost like different like torture things that people have had to go through. I know there's one for keel hauling, which was a punishment in the pirate times that is terrifying. And I'll explain what that is in a second. Yeah, so side 1 is Monster and Ghouls. I'll show the label on these. Cool, like vampire there. So side 1 is like Monsters and Ghouls. You got Monster Mash, just the song. Werewolf Attacks, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Frankenstein Returns, Headless Horseman, that type of stuff. Side 2, you have Buried Alive, Burned at the Stake, The Exorcism, Victims of the Guillotine, Keelhauled, The Torture Chamber, The Blob. But yeah, so it's just a cool like I don't know, like Halloween style record. And it's one that like you don't really see like around or in stores. Oh, actually, this one's from 1974. Get the CD, Based from the Crypt, all horror movies. Oh no, I'll have to call her back in a second. All horror movies set to ground pounding bass. That's cool. I might have to cut the live stream short I'll show this last thing, and then I have to call my daughter back. But no, so this is from 1974. Actually, a lot of my records, honestly, are from like the 70s and 60s and 80s and stuff. I have like original prints. This one here, Halloween Horrors. This one is so cool. So side one, you actually have, it's actually like a little ghost story. There's the back of it. Little witches with the cauldron. So side one, you get a ghost story, which is honestly, it's a really good story. Side two is the sounds of Halloween. So you got like thunder and lightning, rain, wind, fire, got horse and wagons, like just different stuff to kind of like do like a haunted house with. What year is this from? 77. But yeah, so this one's really cool. I love the cover art for this one. I don't think this has a different label, but we'll check. Oh, this is one of the inner sleeves I need to switch out. Yeah, no, just a regular label on it. Nothing like cool, like with a vampire or something. But yeah, I have a butt ton of records now, to be honest. And I love listening to them. Also, because we got a new record player that also like has a cassette like deck thing on it. Man, going to thrift stores and stuff, buying cassette tapes is so awesome now. I found a Louis L'Amour, basically like audio drama of one of his books, which is just fucking awesome. So yeah, I'm trying not to rush, but at the same time, I'm trying to talk about certain things before we end this. So to the books. Okay. I'm reading this right now. Never Whistle at Night. It's a collection of indigenous, like scary stories kind of thing. I will say it's not quite what I was expecting, but in a good way. It's done by Mucho Love Call. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm doing these really quick, and then I'm gonna end the live stream. But no, so all the people that contributed to this are indigenous authors. It's actually really cool because they give information about the authors like at the end of the stories here. And it turns out the whole don't whistle at night is a real thing. I was looking into that. This book here, one of my favorite movies of all time, is The Godfather. But I've never been able to find the book. I found the book. I finally found a copy of The Godfather by Mario Puzo. I am so excited to read this. Like, it has been a book that I've wanted to read for years. And I found it for $6.50 at Value Village. Not so bad. What, this was his third book? Interesting. I always like to see what it looks like without the dust cover, but just a regular kind of reddish gold lettering. Not bad. But no, love the Godfather movies. I'm so excited to read this book finally. And yeah, it's just, I don't think this is a first edition, but let's find out. Actually, I don't think I checked. No, it is definitely not. But yeah, so The Godfather. But if anybody is looking for a cool book with scary stories, check out Never Whistle at Night. It's a good one. It's a couple of stories in there have given me the spookums. But I'm going to get out of here now. I'm going to call my little girl, hear about her day. Definitely give a buzz and a hug from the Hamels. 100%. Lissa, that's a pretty cool find. Yes, I am a huge supporter of like going to thrift stores or used bookstores. You never know what movies or books or whatever you'll find. So go do that if there's some in your area. So I am back. We are so back, as the kids say nowadays. Videos will be going again. If I have to record them at night after the workers leave, then I will. But I am very glad I got to do this live stream. Got to talk to you beautiful folks again. And yeah. So just, I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to do stuff again. The next live stream, and I promise, the next live stream, we are going to be going over some paranormal evidence. Well, we'll see. I don't know if there's anything on the recordings yet, but I've been saving them for a live stream. So the next one we do is going to be going over some audio stuff when nobody's been in the house. So we'll see if anything was caught. And yeah, mucho love to you, Alyssa. Mucho love to Andrew and to anyone else watching this after the live stream. Remember, you are enough in this world. You are actually more than enough in this world. We need more people like you. I promise. I know it feels like I'm just saying that to whoever, but it's true. We need more people like you out there. You're loved. You are enough. You deserve happiness. Stay undefeated against the bad days. If you woke up today, whether you're watching this right now or you're watching this after the live stream, if you woke up today, that's another victory against the bad days. Don't ever let them win. You deserve to be in this world and people want you here. And you're not alone. Tons of people have gone through what you're going through, or they are going through it themselves. You are never alone in what you're going through or what you're feeling. Okay? And I'm going to just throw it out there. If other people can just hate on things for no reason these days, I love you. Because if people can hate for no reason, we can love for no reason. We don't need a reason to love people. So if you're watching this, you're enough. I love you. Drink some water. Have a tasty little treat. And do something that's going to make you happy. Now, all my quiet kids, freaks, and weirdos, for the love of everybody, keep being weird. Thank you. Mucho love, everybody.